Hi, are you struggling with raising capital and you have a small capital that you want to grow as a beginner trader? If that is what exactly you are looking for, then this video is specially recommended for you. In this video, I'll be showing you how you can grow your small trading account with a minimum of 5 USD as your trading capital. Trading Volatility 75, which is being offered by Deriv Broker. So this particular video is strictly for trading Volatility 75 as your trading asset. So looking at my chart, here is the indicator. The Bollinger band, the period is 130, deviation is 2.0, the shift is 0, you apply to close. Then the next is our moving average. The period is 10, the shift is 0, the method is exponential, you apply to close. Then have the other moving average, the period is 25, shift is 0, method exponential, you apply to close. They have a relative strength index, and here is the relative strength index, and finally our commodity channel index. So you must know that there are rules attached to this trading pattern. First of all is for you to determine your trend. After your trend determination, you need to identify your points of interest, which is the zone you are expected to make either your buy or your sell entry. Once you have identified those points of interest, you need to wait for price to come into those zones for you to be able to execute your trade. And when price come back to that zone, you will need an entry trigger or an entry confirmation, which basically on the 1 hour time frame is going to be a candlestick pattern, and it will be either a bullish or bearish engulfing or a pin bar, which is a hammer. So these are the only two entry trigger that you will be needing in order for you to execute your trade. Having said that, remember the rules. You must only make one entry at a time. What that implies is that you need to be patient enough to wait for either your first trade to hit stop loss or take profit. But the most important thing is you don't need to have multiple running trades from the initial stage of growing the account. So what do we do? First of all, we need to determine our trend. And if you look at this, you realize that price has been bullish over time. So this is 4 hours. You can see that price has been bullish, it has been buying to the upside. And then all of a sudden, we see this bearish movement that took price to the downside. And with this bearish movement, if you look at it critically, break the structure at this point, because this is our higher high at a point, this is our higher low, then we'll have this new higher high. So this higher low was broken at this point. So when we had that particular movement, what do? We begin to look forward for our point of interest. Now, if you are coming across this channel for the first time, this is the right time for you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to get notified when we upload our next video. And do as well to share so that others can benefit from this video. So our point of interest can be an area of support, it can be an area of resistance, it can be an order block, it can be a smart money cube, it can be a fair value gap. So in this case here, we are having a fair value gap. Please, if you are coming across this video and you don't know what a fair value gap is, I will recommend that you watch our previous video where we have discussed each of these things, how you can identify a fair value gap and trade it afterwards. So here we have a fair value gap, and look at what happened. Price moves straight away into this fair value gap. Okay, So our entry is going to be on the 1 hour, and now that price is on the fair value gap, what do we want to see? We need an entry confirmation. Now here on the H4, we are having a divergence. So divergence is also one of our most effective entry confirmation. So let's move down to our 1 hour. And here we are on the 1 hour time frame. Beautiful. Here again, you can see that is a divergence, and that should be one of your entry. If you miss that, price came back to that zone again, couldn't push further, and then we have that move to the downside. So this is exactly how you can take this entry. And of course, if you are making this entry using the break of structure pattern, you realize that coming to this zone, this is a higher high, a higher low, another higher high, another higher low, another higher high. And then look at what happened. Price came down to take this low. So here we had a break of structure. Then what do? You mark the fair value gap or the point of interest that you can find here again. And at this point we have another point of interest. So you can see here we have a fair value gap, and look at what happened. Price went in. This could have been your sniper entry, and massively you would have been there to the downside. Now if you had missed this particular move here, if you have missed the entry, now that price is in a downtrend, what is the next thing? In this range, which means the movement of this price to the downside, you look for your point of interest again. And in that range, we have another fair value gap, which is an imbalance. You can see it there. We have that imbalance, and we have this smart money cube. So you can see what happened. Price came into this imbalance here, and then range into this smart money cube, play around, then push to this imbalance, fill almost 50% of the imbalance, and then you see that move to the downside. So this is exactly how you can take advantage of this. And if you must do this on these synthetic indices, it has to be only volatility 75. This method has been proven, and you can use your moving average for you to make your entries. Once price comes to your point of interest, be patient enough for price to close below the moving average. You can put your trend line this way. You can see now price close below your moving average, you sell. That is another way that you can take advantage of this moving average in finding your entry. Okay, so this is exactly what I want to share with you, and I believe you have learned something new. Do not forget to give this video a like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to get notified when we upload our next video. And there is a link to the Telegram group where you can join. You can ask your questions and reach out to me directly for inquiry and for training courses. Thank you, and see you in the subsequent video.